like to start by expressing my personal condolences and on the name of the European Union institutions to all the loved ones of the victims of the terrorist attack in Manchester, and to extend our condolences also to all the citizens of the United Kingdom and Prime Minister, all the authorities of the country. The victims seem to be very young people. It is clearly an attack to the European youth and their love for life, I would say so. And I believe young Europeans will continue to value their way of life, their freedom, their joy, their living together, their enjoying together. And I believe fear will not prevail, and the best response to terrorist attacks will continue to be our European youth continuing to live together, enjoy life together, and react in this way. I would like to thank the Minister for having expressed his condolences at the beginning of our meeting. In these moments, we need friends and partners to be at our sides, and these are the moments of the mourning, but these are also the moments of the action, and this is why I just was in contact with the UK Foreign Minister, Boris Johnson, offering all the European Union institution support that can be considered useful by the British authorities, in particular strengthening our exchange of information and cooperation on counterterrorism, and obviously the entire network of the European Union external work on counterterrorism and prevention of attacks and radicalization is at the disposal of the United Kingdom. As it is clear, these are challenges that need a common response, and we are all united in solidarity in this moment. So Edward, thank you very much for a very fruitful and positive exchange we've had today. The EU-Armenia Cooperation Council was extremely positive. Armenia, whose independence, sovereignty and territorial integrity we support, is a very important partner for the European Union. We discussed together today the next steps in our relationship as we work on the signature of the new EU-Armenia Comprehensive and Enhanced Partnership Agreement that was already initialed earlier this year in March in Yerevan. The European Union is willing to expand and deepen cooperation with Armenia. We are already the first trading partner for the country, the first international donor, and the strongest support for reforms. We're ready to continue supporting Armenia's reform process across a range of issues, including economic development, the business environment, the judiciary, human rights, the fight against corruption, issues that are very concrete and relevant for the citizens of Armenia. We've discussed today our shared values, including our commitment to democracy, human rights, the rule of law, which underpin the new agreement and our future cooperation. We were discussing, just entering here, how far we have gone in the recent years, months. We launched the negotiations in December 2015, the two of us here in Brussels, and we come now with good results that are the result of the hard, good work of our respective teams that I would like also to thank for a good work we've managed to do. We are also looking forward to Armenia's active and constructive stance in preparation for the upcoming Eastern Partnership Summit that we will hold here in Brussels in November this year. We also discussed the peaceful resolution of the Nagorno-Karabakh conflict. The European Union believes the status quo is unsustainable and that the conflict needs an early political settlement in accordance with international law. The European Union continues to fully support the mediation efforts and proposals of the OSCE Minsk Group co-chairs. We also exchanged on regional issues. We discussed the situation around the conflict in Syria, the broader regional issues. The EU has reiterated its commitment also to support the normalization of relations between Armenia and Turkey, and our encouragement to both sides to engage in this process without preconditions. Edward, once again, I would like to thank you very much for the excellent work we've done in this couple of years, and for your very constructive attitude, for coming to Brussels, for your visits, the last visits of the President just in February, and this continued political commitment that is bringing us, I believe, good results looking forward for future developments that are as constructive and as positive as the ones we registered today. I would also like to thank you very much for having expressed your condolences for today's attack in Manchester. Thank you.
Thank you, Federica. And first of all, I would like to say what I said in the beginning of our council meeting. Our strong condemnation of what has happened in Manchester, the attack against innocent people. Our thoughts and sentiments are with the victims and the families of those who were affected by this horrible attack. And I would like also to express our solidarity with the authorities and the people of the United Kingdom. Thank you again, Federica. Our council meeting was very successful. Achievements and deliverables during last period since last council meeting were very impressive, and we are looking forward to more strong partnership and cooperation between Armenia and the EU. During the 17th session of the Armenia-EU Cooperation Council, we have summarized the developments since our last meeting in this framework, which was held almost 1.5 years ago. We had extensive discussions on the wide range of issues of Armenian European Union agenda, such as political dialogue, trade and sectoral cooperation, human rights, mobility, reform process, many other important topics. 2016 was a special year for the Armenia-EU cooperation. We had an active and constructive dialogue, high-level visits and meetings, productive negotiations on the comprehensive and enhanced partnership agreement, Armenia's participation in different EU programs. In February here in Brussels, President Sarkisyan and President Tusk announced the completion of negotiations on the new legal framework of our partnership, and on March 21st, Armenia and the EU have initialed the new agreement in Yerevan. We expect to sign the agreement at the Brussels summit. Armenia remains committed to the goals of the Eastern Partnership and continues to make its own contribution to the joint efforts in this multilateral framework. The Riga Summit Declaration has been the main guideline for our interaction and cooperation. It was complemented by the ENP review and most notably by highlighting the principles of differentiation and shared ownership. Over the past 2 years, Armenia has registered a significant progress in implementing Riga commitments. Armenia joined the COSME and Horizon 2020 programs. Since the last council meeting, we have also launched the negotiations on the Creative Europe and the Common Aviation Area Agreement, aiming to finalize these processes by the upcoming summit. Ensuring mobility and people-to-people contacts is essential for enhancing the connections between our societies. This was one of the core principles set into the foundations of the Eastern Partnership. Armenia and the EU for the past 3 years have been actively implementing the visa facilitation and readmission agreements, and we expect to start the visa liberalization dialogue as it has been targeted in Riga. Ladies and gentlemen, on the April 2nd, the parliamentary elections were held in Armenia. They were marked by an unprecedented high number of international observers who stated that the elections were well administered, fundamental freedoms were respected, and the results reflected the will of the population. I would like to use this opportunity to thank again the European Union for significant financial and technical assistance in support of organizing free and transparent voting process. Together with our EU colleagues, we have touched upon a number of important regional and international issues, as Federica said, notably Middle East, Syria, Turkey, Iran, and others. And of course, I have briefed the EU side on the efforts exerted by Armenia and the OSCE Minsk Group co-chair countries towards exclusively peaceful resolution of the Nagorno-Karabakh conflict. 2 summits were convened after the April aggression of Azerbaijan against Nagorno-Karabakh, where agreements were reached aimed at creating appropriate conditions for advancement of the peace process. Baku refuses to implement these agreements, although their importance has been highlighted on numerous occasions, including during April 28 meeting of Ministers of Foreign Affairs of Russia, Armenia and Azerbaijan. Moreover, Baku continues the gross violations of the trilateral ceasefire agreements in defiance of the consistent calls of the co-chair countries and the international community. In this context, we highly value the European Union's principled position on the exclusively peaceful resolution of the conflict and its continued support to the activities of the Minsk Group co-chairs. I want to thank you, Federica, for successful organization of this council meeting. We had a constructive and useful exchange that will contribute to the enhancement of our bilateral agenda. Armenia looks forward to continue the fruitful cooperation with the European Union. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's all we have time for, so I would like to just thank you for coming and also look out for the council press release. Thank you very much.
So I have to leave you in the hands of the protocol.
All the best.
Thank you very much.